we've eaten jackfruit before, but we've never cut one open for ourselves. So we got our hands on a jackfruit and decided to take the plunge into opening one up. So we have a piece of paper here that keeps the fruit. Sometimes you see this on bananas. It kind of keeps the moisture out. And as I take this off, you can see, hopefully, the stickiness that's in a jackfruit. They call it latex.
It's like a resin.
So they say if the riper it is, the less latex it's going to have in it. So what we did was we waited like 3 or 4 days after we bought it to open it. And how you know it's ripe is, one, it's kind of squishy to the touch. And two, it starts to get these brown spots on it.
And 3, it's very fragrant.
And this one weighs about 18 pounds.
I'm going to put coconut oil on your hand.
So what they say is soap and water won't take off the stickiness. The only thing that's going to take off the stickiness or keep it from getting your knife all sticky is some kind of oil. We choose to use coconut oil. So what we've done is we've coated the knife with coconut oil. And also they say coat the plate with coconut oil, and then your hands. So when you break into one, I guess you don't know if it's going to be sticky. Sometimes all the latex is out of it if it's really ripe, from what I understand. So if we put the oil on, hopefully you won't get. And won't be where you have to really work it off later.
And try not to get it on your clothes.
So what we did was we got online and we looked up how to open a jackfruit. We watched a few people, and I enjoyed John Kohler's presentation. He was a little more thorough than a lot of the other ones. And what he showed was the middle. The core of it is where all the latex is. Okay, so this is our first time, so if we can do it, anyone can do it. So I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna start. One lady said to keep it shallow when you cut in, but John Kohler, he was cutting all the way through it, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me cut it over here so you can see how the knife works. We have no idea what the inside of this fruit looks like. This particular fruit, how ripe it is, we're assuming we got it pretty good on the ripe end.
We got it from a place called Robert Is Here, down in Homestead, Florida. They grow lots of exotic fruits down there. And we bought it on Saturday, and they said it was about 3 days out. And this is Tuesday, so it should be pretty ripe.
And another thing is the smell. The smell of the jackfruit is pretty close to the fragrance of durian, as far as potency goes. The more you let it sit, the more fragrant it is. But it has a little bit sweeter smell than durian, and it'll smell up an entire room the riper it gets. So I'm going to take and just try to break this apart.
There is sap on the knife, so I'm using coconut oil to loosen it up.
And Therese, go ahead and cut this open while I have it spread. the core is kind of what we're cutting through now. That's what kind of keeps you from breaking it apart, is the core. We're just kind of cutting through that. Over here by the stem, it's a little more fibrous.
Here we go. And they said it would weep, and they said you could wipe it with coconut oil to keep that stickiness down.
So every time, we were told by Robert, Robert is here, is every time you make a cut, rub coconut oil on it.
It really seems to be mostly the core that's leaking, so I'm just going to put it on the core because I really don't want coconut oil all over my fruit if I don't have to. I'm just going to put it on the areas where it's weeping.
And on the knife, as you can see, little latex, so we're going to...
But don't try to clean it with soap and water. You're going to clean it with oil. The oil loosens it up. Of course, you're going to do this carefully because you can slice yourself too.
So when they said to wait for the fruit to kind of get spots on it, I can see now where my spot was. It's, you know, for the lack of a better word, kind of rotting there. So I guess that's just a barometer of how ripe it's getting, but I wouldn't, you don't want to get, you know, too many dark spots on it. So as you can see, the fruit's kind of a little dark down there. I probably wouldn't eat it.
So this is the fibrous part, and then there are seeds. And the fruit, what you eat, is around the seed. So here's a seed. Let's see if I can get a piece of the fruit out. See, this is the meat. Here it is. That's what we're after.
So a seed grows in each one, and these seeds, you can, you know, some people boil them, and they say they have a taste and texture like potatoes. So we're probably gonna boil these just to see what they're like to boil. I think some people maybe fry them too, or use them for, you know.
You can probably just dehydrate them as well. Well, should we taste it, Lon?
Okay. Cheers. Cheers.
Mmm.
Wow.
They say it's a cross between pineapple,
Banana.
four fruits. Mmm. It's that good.
It's better than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely worth cutting into. I can see why one of the videos we watched, the girl was going crazy over jackfruit, saying that, you know, she's like addicted to jackfruit, and it's that good. It's you know, when we bought it, they were telling me about the latex and, you know, that, you know, be prepared, and, you know, making it sound like it was a lot of trouble to open up.
They almost talked us out of it.
But I love a challenge, and so I decided to go ahead and get it, and I'm glad I did.
So now we're just going to keep getting these pods out, And we'll have to eventually cut into it again and then split it, and then the fibers will kind of fan out. Should we make another cut, Laura?
Oh, there goes a...
I think if we cut it again, then we can maybe fan it, like they were talking about. Or we could just keep plowing through.
Oh, I remember. Remember John Kohler kind of cutting the edge like this. I can see why now, because it kind of attaches itself to the edge. And when I was trying to work this one out, if I took the edge out, just kind of angle your knife, cut the skin away.
And one lady, she used the meat, the jackfruit meat. Step out of the way here. She used the jackfruit meat and bananas, and she made a drink. We're getting some more sap now. See, we're getting down by the core. And I think that's all she used, right, Laura? Was bananas and jackfruit meat, and she made a...
And coconut water.
And coconut water, and she made like a smoothie with it.
So I guess there's not one in here. Huh.
You just fan it out and look for the fruit.
Guess there's no fruit in that one. Oh, maybe it's right here. Every few inches there's a pod. There it is. It's like a pod and a seed with some flesh around it. It's like it produced a little baby in here. And all around us is fiber stuff that you don't eat. You just clean off the fibery.
Pop that seed out.
Kind of has a consistency of almost like a tendon. You know, when you're eating a piece of meat or something, and the beef has that tendon part that you don't eat. Kind of has a consistency of that.
And then the seed itself has a little pod on it, like a little cap. I imagine you wouldn't want to eat that part too. It's very tough. I'm going to go on the other side.
So we're just cutting the core, the kind of tendony stuff away from the core. When I say the core, I mean this part right here, right in the middle. So we're just cutting the core away and cutting the edge away, and that makes the meat easier to get out.
There's a piece she wants.
Clean little tendons away from there. This is one right here. There's little treasures inside of there.
So I guess we'll keep going, and we'll finish cleaning this.
If you think about it,